Between yours, this is Siren Buddha Medicine and Regina's Rabbit Hole. Here we are again. Gosh, I hope you guys are doing well and you're using the tools that I've shared with you. This is a gang stalking update. The other one was tools. Okay, this is the part that I don't like, right? Okay, this is the report on the nonsense, okay? Okay, so research, decide to go put it into action. Gaslighting all day, every day via love bite. The street performers. So you just feel like you're being watched everywhere and you don't trust anyone. There's the computer and the brain to skull technology. They can read your thoughts. They can feed your thoughts. Being an empath. And I thank goodness that I was already into this stuff before they did all these other upgrades, because it might have been harder for me to notice what was what. It's important for you to know your own internal voice versus the other voices. Like they have this technology, voice of God technology. They can literally put voices into your head straight through the white meat into your dome, so it sounds like it's you. Maybe you hear this voice, but if it's not your own voice, then it's probably tampering. So that's another tool. Okay. If you're hearing voices and it's your voice, your internal voice, it's going to be in your voice. But if it's exterior voices and tampering, you're going to hear someone else's voice. That's not you. It's not you. Who's tampering with you? The government. Using these computers. Because you're also being gang stalked. You're a targeted individual. You're being human trafficked. That means anything that you're trying to do is probably being hijacked, stalled, delayed, tampered with. That you don't come up with anything interesting. Anything that can be helpful. In my research, and this is the kind of stuff that's being stopped. So while I'm researching, I'm getting interference from street performers, internet harassment. You think it. You don't say it. And you look, there's freaking braziers everywhere. The awareness. There's health apps that can track your vitals. There is technology called TherifyNet, where you wear a little head thing and it sends different frequencies and stuff to your brain to help you synchronize. I advise that for health. Now we know there's two sides of a coin. So you could be using money to buy herbs and roots and housing and things to be helpful. Or you could be using money to buy bombs and poison and train people how to mind control others so that they can never truly think for themselves or organize or be liberated in any way. So those two sides of the coin. And also consider that another man's problem is another man's solution. Okay, so intention, right, and mentality very much plays a part in this. Because you could be demented and warped in your thinking. I'm brown, or I'm white, and so therefore I'm superior. So anything that I come up with, thing that I deem in my mind is an obstacle, is a god to me. It's a problem to them. It's a demon to them, a devil to them, but it's a god to me. Okay? It's a solution to me. It's a problem to them. So I'm the one that's able to see this mentality. Maybe you are too, and that's why they're bothering you. So you wake up in the morning and you're doing your research with these kind of things in mind. So you're able to see things from a different angle, and they want to stop that. They don't want you having any credibility or to be able to intellectually gather enough peoples into your mindset to cause an obstacle to their buffoonery. So you're a TI. So you've got all that going on while you're doing the research. You're trying to develop whatever it is that the Most High gave you. A song to sing inside. Something to do. Something to provide. Because I was self. We need that. I need you. And you need me. We provide things for each other. They weren't good. But they didn't want us to have. Even if it's just a different mentality. A different way of thinking. A soothing word outside of their structures that provided soothing words for profit. Your counselors, your priests, your religious institutions that also invest in a lot of therapeutic places like I can't think of any names off the top of my head. Goodwill. And other places. There's a lot of states and cities where you go into where Catholics have like a counseling facility or something where they provide doctors or therapists to the community. Okay. I was just thinking of clergy and thinking of the reserves and the service people and just how the energy there, you know, with the mindsets and skills, institutions and resources, like a tremendous amount of resources that they have to be able to project their thoughts into the matrix while they prevent others. I'm one of the others that they try to prevent. Okay? There's a shadow ban on me, and where I see people get millions of views for sitting there looking stupid, popping bonbons in their mouth or shaking their behind, saying something stupid. Get crickets on this vital information, and then I see someone else take and repackage what I've said. And a beautiful background and a lovely location, and the gear is just perfect, and they've got these name brand hoo-ha's on, whatever, and the graphics are just perfect. They got the little words on the end of your screen that talk to you and everything, and they have millions of followers. They're repeating things that I said that I know doggone well they could have only gotten from running into things that I have said. They want to deem you irrelevant. That part of you, that's me. And that part of you that I need, well, that's the part that they're stifling. So we're there, right? We're on the same page. So I get up yesterday morning. I decided to put my research into action. I go outside and I dance. between the gaslighting that I received from the love bite situation. Go outside, internet cuts off, music cuts off, street performance. People walking, all these white males walking up and down the street that I just like, weird at the same time. Like, why am I seeing so many males, Caucasian males, walking around? And it's unusual behavior. Things that would make you be like, things that make you go, So, then I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm trying to talk to you, right? And I noticed there's this little Jeep, and he wants to be noticed. He parks this way, facing toward me, parks kitty corner, on an angle, like he's moving around and stuff, so I'm looking at you, say that it's back there. So whatever is in back of me is going to distract you if it's moving around and you can see it. So that's what I'm looking at in this direction. As I'm talking to you, I'm seeing all this other stuff over here, and the street this way, and the street that's adjacent to this way. Dismiss that. Otherwise, I can't get my message to you if I'm telling you everything that I'm seeing that's going on around me. I'm telling you that I'm being yelled at and harassed by my spouse. If I tell you that there's street performers and doing a irregular thing and it's making them comfortable and it's white males, you can't hear me.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. It's still gonna go viral after a while. No doubt, I'm just saying. I knew that young people. Alright, I got it. Alright, yo, did you do that after today?
They know I'm live.
Alright, I'll do it. Alright.
So then, I'm sitting on the porch and I see all this activity from this guy in the truck, and I had finally reached a level. And so what I did was I walked over, because he was just sitting there watching me. I walked over to the little Jeep and I looked behind the car at the license plate number, because I've gotten in the habit now from being a targeted individual for taking pictures of the license plates and the vehicles, so that when I go ate crap later and I think I'm losing it and I forget who I am, a targeted individual, and this is the kind of stuff that happens to us, is strategic, I can go back and look at pictures or notes and know that, okay, I've seen this vehicle before, or I can at least register it so that it's not a random thing, now it's a noted thing. Even if it's noted and put on a shelf, it gets sorted out later. It gives me some kind of, it gives me something. And it's well delusion, it's something to hold on to. But I have a picture of a license plate, a memory of the encounter, because remember, with all the stress, trauma, and anxiety, you're prone to probably forget, to want to return. It's natural, it's human behavior to want to return to a space that makes sense, that feels comfortable. And in our trauma, Nazi paperclip scientists know this. That's what they use. Even the person that's torturing you, after so much trauma, if they give you a kind word, you'll roll up a bed right up underneath them, just to stop it from happening again, unconsciously. It's the way that we work. So they study the way that we work, and they work it against us. Stockholm Syndrome, similar to what I'm talking about. The other thing is the gaslighters, what they'll do is tell you that what you have is insignificant, it doesn't really mean anything, and it won't work. And then they'll take that thing that they told you, that they psyched you out about not to do, and it gets done somewhere else. It gets done by them, it gets done by people that they know. You watch whatever you decided not to do, you got intimidated because you're too old to do it, or you're not the right color to do it. Your culture shouldn't be doing it, you know. Your gender shouldn't be doing it. So you have all these excuses that they gave you. They fed you these programs and eat them, wanting to fit in, wanting to adjust, wanting to balance ourselves with society. So we want to get along. They secretly don't want to get along, pretending that they want to get along. And they work in secret with each other. These little secret organizations and secret families and nations and religious organizations. And it's crazy out here. And they work together. They gang up on you. So there's probably more than one fraction or group disturbing the peace. So I get the cyber stalking from the computer. I get people that use the computers to prevent me from doing things like preventing me from uploading and sharing and things like that. You get the gaslighters and you get the people who say really mean or rude, stupid things in the chat if you go live or on a video. They mean to demean you or discredit you in some kind of way. There's people who will go in and literally spell things wrong or say things knowing that you're an empath in a way where you would overlook things like that in order to get to the point or the core of what is being said. And that, in a world where people are tailoring themselves and fixing themselves to be just perfect so that they can look like they're in leader mode 100% of the time, which is a lie. You ain't in leader mode when you go to the toilet, you know, unless you're trying to have bikini-ish. You know what I'm saying? Some people are even trying to do that. They'll market anything. But we're human. Meant to have human experiences and work through those human experiences, and that's what develops the leader part of us. There needs to be places for us to be soft and to grow and to learn and to mess up so that we can dust our knees off after we bruised them up. You know what I'm saying? And fix our little cuts and bruises and fix our pronunciation and our spelling and stuff without people trying to bludgeon us to death before we get there. Saw yesterday where the car was doing all that stuff. So when I went to address the car, the guy says, "What are you doing?" He yells at me. And I said, "I'm getting your license plate number." What? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? He's screaming at me, but yet this man was watching me for over 20 minutes, a half an hour, taking different angles of me with his car to let me know that he was watching me. He was very rude about it. He says, "I'm waiting for my wife." And I said, "Oh, well, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm a wife and I live right there and you're being really rude." He wants to keep going back and forth like he's trying to disturb my peace and my peace of mind. And I just fanned him off and said, "I don't want to talk to you. You said you're waiting for your wife. Fine, then wait for your wife. But I live right there and you're being really rude and you look like you're freaking watching me." I was heated. So I go in and sit back on my porch. My husband starts screaming at me. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's yelling at the guy. "What happened?" He says, "What are you doing?" And the guy says, "I'm waiting for my wife." And he says, my husband says to me, "Oh, why are you starting trouble? You're always starting trouble." I'm getting yelled at from some strange man who's violating my space. And my husband is not listening to me. So I'm sitting there, eye rolling at this point, just like trying to keep my balance and also trying to maintain my conversation. But I was trying to give my subscribers some tools. And while I was giving you tools and skills, I get attacked. So I have to use my tools and my skills. I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm coming. So, It is what it is. Just because you know that something is wrong doesn't mean you can do something about it. But you have to watch your behavior because they're going to try to trip you up and shove you in a hospital or jail. Or worse, maybe death, if that's worse for you. So, I really empathize with you. I know what you're going through. And it feels like, sometimes I just feel like, what's the point? What's the point in talking about it if we're just going to keep talking about it and nothing can be done? So I'm with you, and I care for you, and I empathize with you. You're not crazy. This is extremely systematic. There's a number of different things. There's even from the Vatican portion of it where they take demons and actually place them on your name, on your being. So you've got a lot of different little fights to deal with while you're trying to develop whatever it is, talents and abilities that the Most High put in you. Don't give up. Try not to give up. Much love to you. This is Scientific Medicine. In this rabbit hole, feel free. Free yourself. Liberate yourself to like, subscribe, share, and donate to help me evolve. I'm you and you're me. We have value. The information has value. Show me that you care. Put action behind it. My cash app is Life Coach. Life Coach 369A. That's Life Coach 369A. Much love to you.